Alright, strap in Odd Socks Warriors, because today we're plunging into Combatribes on the Evercade. A side-scrolling beat-em-up that will test your reflexes, patience, and your sanity. This isn't your grandma's gentle stroll through the park. This is pure arcade chaos where every punch, kick, and flying headbutt counts. And occasionally leaves you staring at the screen like, did that clown just juggle my face? Yes, the enemies here are insane. We've got the standard knife-wielding hooligans, the axe-swinging giants, and oh, let's not forget that crazy clowns in the amusement park level. I swear these pixelated psychos are out for blood and cotton candy. They throw balloons like deadly grenades, honk their horns like little battle horns, and somehow always appear from behind the popcorn stand just when you think you're safe. Honestly, I think they were designed by someone who got kicked out of the circus, and I'm talking permanently. And let's talk bosses. These aren't the big guys that hit you until you fall bosses. These are bosses who look at your life bar, laugh, and then summon 3 waves of minions while juggling flaming bats. 1 second you're feeling like the ultimate warrior, the next you're desperately mashing buttons and wondering why your pixelated feet don't explode when you fall off yet another platform. The beauty of Combatribes is that it's deceptively simple. Move, punch, kick, repeat, but don't let that fool you. The difficulty is brutal. If anything can grab you and just start pounding you, it's like instant doom. It's like the game assumes your character's own heartbeat is enough to end them. You'll find yourself turning around mid-sprint to dodge a spear, throw a combo at a lunatic in a tutu, and somehow survive barely, and if you don't, well, just respawn and try not to scream at the TV this time. Pixel-perfect animations, tight controls, and retro arcade vibes make you feel like the hero of your own action movie, just one where the villains are clowns, bikers, and your worst nightmares combined. Every level is a carnival of chaos, a test of reflexes, and a lesson in humility. And honestly, the sheer ridiculousness of it all makes it fun, frustrating, and oddly satisfying in that I can't believe I just survived that kind of way. So grab your Evercade, summon your inner warrior, and get ready to punch, kick, and combo your way through tribes. Will you conquer the clowns, defeat the bosses, and survive the amusement park of madness? Or will you end up just another pixelated casualty? Only one way to find out, and trust me, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna scream, and you're gonna cry your way through every second. As always, we're going to look at the story, the sound, and the gameplay, and a little later on, I'll be letting you guys know my Evercade stats on how long it took me to complete Combatribes. But before we do that, let's have a little bit of a look at this Evercade cart. Released on December 8th, 2021 as cartridge number 1 in the Evercade arcade series, this Technōs Arcade Collection 1 was a game changer. It wasn't just another cartridge, it was the first arcade-focused release on Evercade, setting the standard and getting players excited to dive into this new retro console from Blaze. Suddenly, owning a handheld that could play authentic arcade classics was no longer a dream, it was a reality. This collection is now officially a legacy cart packed with 8 iconic games. It delivers a thrilling mix of genres that keeps you constantly on your toes, and the lineups include the Combatribes, Blockout, Battle Lane Volume 5, Double Dragon 2, Double Dragon 3, Mania Challenge, Minky Monkey, and Mysterious Stones. What makes this cart truly stand out isn't just nostalgia, it's the sheer variety. You've got your side-scrolling beat-em-ups, bullet hell-style shrumps like Battle Lane, clever puzzle games like Blockout, and quirky platformers to keep things light-hearted. Every game challenges a different skill set, meaning there's something here for every arcade fun. It's a roller coaster of arcade experiences in a single cartridge, and it perfectly showcases why Technōs was a powerhouse in the arcade scene. From frantic fights to strategic puzzles, this collection keeps you entertained, engaged, and coming back time and time again. If you want a cart that delivers diverse gameplay, classic arcade charm, and pure retro fun, the Technōs Arcade Collection 1 is a must-have for your Evercade library. It's not just a cartridge, it's an arcade sampler platter at its finest. Now, I paid $44.20 for this cart. but this has 8 games on it, and today we're only reviewing Combatribes. So, for the purpose of today's review, we need to say that I spent $5.53. Meaning, for me to get my $10 per hour equivalent ratio, I'll need to play and complete Combatribes in longer than 33 minutes. And I can successfully say I achieved this playing and completing the game in 35 minutes. This means my dollar per hour ratio is approximately $9.43 per hour, which is just scraping through. I had a play count of 1, a load count of 1, and a save count of 1, meaning I completed this game on my first playthrough. Let's take a look at the story. So the city is in absolute chaos. Gangs are running rampant. Seriously, it's like someone opened the world's worst carnival on every corner, and you've got knife-wielding punks, chain-swinging maniacs, and roller-skating hooligans, and even clowns who look like they've got rejected from the circus and thought, crime will do. And each crew has its own personality, its own style, and of course completely ridiculous attack patterns. One minute you're smashing thugs in a grim alley, and the next you're dodging flying pipes in an amusement park that somehow doubles as a gang's hideout. Honestly, if city planning existed here, it quit on day 1. So let's enter our heroes. We've got Hack, Slash, and Sting. 3 no-nonsense street warriors whose fists do more talking than a broken megaphone. Their mission? Punch their way through every gang, restore order, and maybe teach a few lessons in street etiquette. And by order, I mean leaving hundreds of gang members unconscious in neat little piles. Hey, at least the streets are cleaner now. But here's where things get spicy. Spoiler alert, that so-called big bad you've been fighting towards, yeah, he turns out just to be the warm-up act. And the real mastermind is a cunning, street-smart woman who's been pulling the strings the whole time.
She's not Louis Einhorn. She's Ray Finkel. She's a man.
He's lying. Shut up!
She's got the gangs running around like little chaotic little puppets, and the city's dancing to her tune. Suddenly you realise every knife and every chain and every little roller skate goon you flattened was basically her rehearsal for the main event. Classic bait and switch. The story doesn't get too deep, but that's part of the charm. It's punchy, chaotic, and packed with enough surprises to keep you entertained. Especially when a roller skating punk whacks you right before the final boss reveal. The Combatribes throws you straight into the action, and even though it's light on plot, the mix of gangs, urban chaos, and a surprise villain twist makes the city feel alive and very, very dangerous. And let's be honest, the real mystery isn't the villain reveal, it's why the police were completely missing in action while 3 random guys called Hack, Slash, and Sting did all the heavy lifting. It must have been a union holiday or something. So my score on the story, I give Combatribes a 6 out of 10. The story in the Combatribes is your classic clean up the city arcade beat 'em up, no need for deep thinking here. Just fists, chaos, and more gangs than you find on a dodgy street corner at midnight. But that's where the fun kicks in. The variety of enemies is wild. You're not just fighting punks with knives and chain-swinging maniacs. Oh no, this city has it all. Roller skating hooligans zooming around like they're late for a 1980s disco, bikies revving through like extras from Mad Max, and clowns. Actual clowns. And not the funny ones either. These ones look like the failed circus auditions and took up gang life instead. If Gotham City has the Joker, this city has about 50 of his less talented cousins. It honestly feels like the streets are divided into little cliches, just like back in high school. You have the jocks, the emos, the goths, the band kids, and here it's the punks, the carnies, the bikies, and roller freaks. The only difference, instead of trying to nick your lunch money, they're trying to beat you senseless. And just when you think you've seen it all, boom, the army show up. At that point, you've got to ask, where on earth are the police in all of this? Taking a tea break? Maybe hiding in the station, probably playing arcade machines in the break room, while you're out here doing all the work. The boss fights stick to the classic arcade formula, smash through waves of goons, then face the big bad boss. Rinse, repeat, and move on. It's a comfy loop, the kind you'd almost don't mind repeating because each boss feels like an over-the-top character of their gang. But then comes the kicker. And yep, spoiler alert, you think you're marching towards some giant final boss, the kingpin of all kingpins? But no, the true mastermind behind this whole circus of chaos is a woman. She's been running the entire show from the shadows, pulling the strings like a puppet master while you've been too busy punching roller clowns in the face to notice. That's right, the big bad wasn't a musclehead. It was a cunning boss lady who played everyone. Betrayal you didn't see coming. Once again, just like high school, when your so-called best mate ditched you at lunch to go sit with the cool kids. Brutal! What a boss bitch move. And honestly, you've got to hand it to the devs for a game that screams punch first and ask questions never. That twist is actually pretty slick storytelling. So yeah, the story is not even as engaging as Neighbours, but between the variety of gangs, the chaos of the city, and the sneaky surprise reveal at the end, the story actually lands harder than you'd expect. And for that reason, I'm bumping it up to a 6 out of 10. It's punchy, it's silly, and it's chaotic, and it leaves you grinning from ear to ear. Let's take a look at the sound. Now let's talk about the sound because honestly, the Combatribes wouldn't hit half as hard without it. The music is upbeat, relentless, and keeps you in that punch everything that moves groove the whole way through. It's not just background noise, it's like your own personal hype man shouting, "You've got this," while you're uppercutting roller skating hooligans or pile driving a dude who looks like he just left a bad metal gig. Every level's tune is this bouncy, driving beat that makes even the most ridiculous street fight feel like you're starring in a Saturday morning cartoon that your parents definitely wouldn't approve of. And I swear the soundtrack must have magical powers because it does such a great job that it almost tricks you into thinking you're playing like a pro. You could be cornered by 3 clowns, 2 bikies, and a guy wielding a chain the size of a garden hose, and the music still makes you feel like Rambo. It's basically saying, yeah, you're losing lives faster than coins down the couch cushions, but man, you're looking good doing it. The sound effects are pure arcade brilliance. Punches come with those chunky thwacks and smacks that make every hit sound satisfying. It's like someone whacking a watermelon with a cricket bat, and the kicks fire off with those exaggerated whaps that somehow makes you feel like Bruce Lee, even if you've just missed your target and kicked empty air. And those screams, comedy gold. Every enemy you drop lets out this dramatic over-the-top howl like you've just ruined their entire life plan. I swear half the budget must have gone into recording random dudes falling off bar stools after a few too many. And here's the kicker. The Combatribes was developed by Technōs Japan, the same legends who gave us Double Dragon. That means you're getting that signature Technōs arcade sound, upbeat tracks, and crunchy effects, and plenty of "did that guy just die" or "stub his toe" screams, all dialed up to 11. It's like Double Dragon's soundtrack had too much caffeine and decided to crash a biker bar. So for the odd socks score on the sound, I give Combatribes a solid 8 out of 10. And honestly, it 100% deserves that. The soundtrack is straight up heroic chaos, the kind of city in ruins but I'm still the main character music that makes you feel unstoppable. It's upbeat, it's relentless, and it fits perfectly with the vibe of 3 muscleheads cleaning up the streets one flying kick at a time. But the real highlight here is the sound effects. Every punch, every kick, every slam comes with this chunky, satisfying noise that makes fighting these gangs feel like pure arcade therapy. Landing a fist on some chain-swinging punk sounds so good you almost want to apologize afterwards. Almost. Kicks are so sharp, and what I love most is how the game, it all just feels alive. The sound effects aren't just background filler, they're front and center. elevating every brawl into something memorable. The combination of that hype, hero-styled music, and those meaty thwacks made me enjoy every second, even when the gangs were pummeling me into the pavement. It's like the game was saying, yeah, the city might be falling apart, but at least it sounds amazing while you're fixing it. Let's take a look at the gameplay. When it comes to the gameplay, the Combatribes is pure side-scrolling beat-em-up madness, but with just enough over-the-top flair to make it stand out. You're not just walking left to right, punching the occasional thug. No, you're diving headfirst, literally into the chaos, and yes, I'm talking about the game's signature head smash move. Few things in arcade history are as satisfying as grabbing two punks, slamming their skulls together like a pair of coconuts, and watching them drop like yesterday's trash. It's brutal, it's ridiculous, and it makes you wonder if these guys have health insurance, or at least a good chiropractor. The controls are classic arcade beat-em-up simplicity, punch, kick, grab, repeat, but Technōs Japan layered in some fun variety, and you can swing enemies around like rag dolls, throwing them across the screen or just flatten them with your fists. Every move feels weighty and exaggerated and makes moving through gangs of clowns, bikers, or pipe-swinging lunatics all the more fun. Each stage throws a different flavour of chaos at you. One level you're smashing punks in alleys, the next you're in an amusement park dodging barrels with a group of clowns trying to rearrange your face. It's like the developers looked at the city life and thought, how many gangs can we fit into one zip code? Spoiler alert, a lot. They can fit a lot of gangs in. Now the difficulty, it's tough. You're often surrounded, ganged up on, and left mashing buttons in a panic, but that's the point. The Combatribes want you to feel like you're the underdog who somehow claws their way through wave after wave of lunatics, and when you're finally there, you land that head smash combo on a gang leader, you feel like this undisputed king of the arcade. At its core, the gameplay is simple but oh so satisfying. It's the kind of button-mashing chaos that doesn't overcomplicate things, but still gives you enough moves to feel like a badass. And honestly, if I could head-smash my real-life problems together as easily as I can in this game, my to-do list would be finished in 5 minutes. So for the odd sock score on the gameplay, I give Combatribes a 9 out of 10 because honestly, as far as beat-em-ups go, this is probably one of the best I've ever played. The first thing you'll notice is how responsive the controls are. No laggy punches, no frustrating delays when you hit that attack button. Your character is already throwing hands like it's Friday night in a bar brawl. It feels snappy, which is exactly what you want in a beat-em-up where timing and rhythm make the difference between mopping the floor with gangs or being the mop yourself. And then there's the movement. Sure, you've got your standard kicks and punches, but the real highlight is this head-smashing move. Grabbing two punks and slamming their noggins together like you're auditioning for the Gallagher show, it's an absolutely brutal and absolutely glorious part of the game. It's a mechanic that never gets old and sets the game apart from the pack. What I love is how the game balances chaos and control. Even when you're swarmed by roller skating gangs, leather-clad bikies, or whatever fever dream enemies it throws at you,
Biker. I'm an idiot.
the controls remain so sharp that you feel in command every single time. And I'm talking every punch, every throw, and every slam lands with that crunchy satisfaction, and that's the kind of gameplay loop that keeps you pumping coins into these arcade cabinets. So yeah, I give it a 9 out of 10. The Combatribes isn't just about fighting, it's about fighting well, and the gameplay delivers that in spades. Overall, I give the Combatribes an 8 out of 10. Now, I've said it's my favourite beat-em-up earlier, but honestly, that's underselling it. This game doesn't just sit up top of the beat-em-up food chain, it body slams its way up there, head smashes the competition, and then stands over the pile of fallen cartridges like a true arcade champion. The gangs are wild, the soundtrack is pumping, and the gameplay feels so tight and responsive that even my thumbs felt like superheroes, and every punch, every kick, and every dramatic scream when an enemy goes flying, it's all ridiculously fun. And the head smash move, forget about it. Nothing says teamwork like using 2 goons' skulls as a set of maracas. And that ending twist with the big boss reveal, what a ride. Just when you think you've got that city back, boom, it's all betrayal again. It's classic. Honestly, I felt like I was in high school all over again, and you thought the jocks were the problem, but nope, it was that popular girl pulling the strings the whole time. What a boss bitch. Pun fully intended. Now, is it perfect? Nah, but does it hit all the right notes like a dad telling bad jokes at a barbecue? Absolutely. Speaking of which, playing the Combatribes is a bit like a dad grilling sausages. It's hot, it's messy, and someone's going to get smacked with tongs, but everyone walks away truly satisfied. So yeah, 8 out of 10. This isn't just my favourite beat 'em up, it's the one that makes all the others feel like warm-up sparring matches. Other games are just trying to pass gym class while the Combatribes is already out here running varsity. Thank you so much for watching another deep dive Evercade completion review. Please remember to give me a like, subscribe, and comment down below because hearing your thoughts on my games is what motivates me to continue. And I'm still going for that 200 subs before the end of 2025. So if you're feeling that love, hit that little sub button and tell other people about me because at the end of the day, this channel is all about getting more things out that is Evercade, which I absolutely love. Until next Friday, stay odd, stay awesome, and we'll see you next week for another deep dive review. See you later, guys.